Good morning, everyone. Today with you will be teacher of biology, Толеубаева М М. I am from Nazarbayev Intellectual School of Astana. Today our lesson will be again about anatomy and again about interesting part of the anatomy which called gas exchange system. Our life impossible without gas exchange system. For that reason today we want to talk about how is everything is going on, how gas can exchange in our body, and what kind of organs participate in this process, and what kind of different process can be in our organism, in our body. Okay, human respiratory system. First of all, we want to talk about what kind of organs participate in this big process. Human respiratory system consists from the organs. First of all, we can breathe by our mouth cavity or by our nasal cavity. Today we want to talk about a little, not a little, but a lot about each organ and what's happened in each organ. First of all, why we need respiration system? Respiration system control all breathing. It brings oxygen to our body and gets rid carbon dioxide. And this is without breathing our life is impossible. How the human respiratory system works? When we are all the time breathing, first of all we start from the mouth cavity or nasal cavity. Then everything goes to the trachea. Windpipe or maybe trachea divides for the two tubes which called bronchs. Then bronchs divides for the groups which called bronchioli, and bronchioli finished by group or by the air sacs which called alveoli. Some ways the human respiratory system work. How work human respiratory system? Mostly here we have a diaphragm. It's a muscle. Diaphragm pulls the oxygen down to the bronchi and into the lungs. Then it goes into the million moist air sacs which expand and contract like a sponge with water. All the time that alveoli can expand and contract by diaphragm, which expand and contract too. Mechanism of respiration or mechanism of respiratory system. Here you can see the picture. From the picture you can see our diaphragm and what's happened. Our breathing consists from main two things. First of all, it's inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation and exhalation. What's happened? In inhalation, first of all, air is inhaled. Then everything goes to the, we can inhale by mouth or by nasal cavity. Then everything goes to the trachea. After the trachea, everything goes to the bronchi. After the bronchi, everything goes to the bronchioli. Then everything is go to air sacs, and we get oxygen. In that situation, diaphragm is contract. It means diaphragm is moved down. And then when we exhale, air should be exhaled. But for that things we should start from the diaphragm. Diaphragm should relax. It means it should move up. It should move up. Then when it's moved up, air sacs get carbon dioxide, give it to bronchioli, bronchioli give it to bronchi, bronchi give it to trachea, and from the trachea everything goes to the mouth cavity or go to the nasal cavity, and we exhale the air. The important function is too. It's about rib cage. Rib cage have some rib muscles which should help for the breathing too. Which should help to the breathing too. Interesting question. How do the serous membranes that cover the surface of the lungs and line the thoracic cavity facilitate breathing? Now we want to talk about, that's the question for the student which we can ask from the students. Caring about our respiratory system. You should take care of your respiratory system because you won't be able to breathe, because it's important organs. Using drugs can keep your brain from telling you lungs to breathe. Smoking can make your lungs turn black and don't work well. Breathing clean air is healthiest for you, and also exercise and sport is healthy things to our body. Amazing facts about respiratory system. Did you know about the things? First of all, first fact, your right lungs has 3 lobes and your left lungs has only 2. Do you know about these things? Did you know before? Next question or next facts. The right lungs is a little larger than the left lungs. Did you know about this before? And third one, a person sleeping almost always breathes 12 or 15 times in a minute. Person who sleeps breathes for 12 or 15 times in a minute. Interesting facts for the facts to the students. It can help to motivate the students and like a motivation part of our lesson. Next things, another amazing fact. Did you know the exhaling rate is faster in kids than in adults? The trachea is made of cartilage-shaped rings. The fastest recorded sneeze speed is 165 km per hour. Wow, great. It is healthier to breathe through your nose than your mouth because of nose hair has mucus which clean up air. Yep. Respiration. First of all, respiration process of air exchange and which gas exchange by alveoli. 4 parts of respiration. Respiration has main 4 parts. First of all, it's ventilation. Ventilation means movement of air between atmosphere and alveoli. Perfusion, blood flow through the lungs. Diffusion, oxygen, carbon dioxide are transferred between alveoli and blood. Regulation, respiratory muscles and regulation, it should be regulated by respiratory muscles and nervous system. This is the 4 main parts of the respiration, and first we start from the ventilation. Respiratory tracts, nose or maybe mouth, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi. Series of tubes that function of airway passages. They filter, warm and humidify incoming air. The function of these organs. We said that about mouth cavity, nasal cavity. The most function, we said that with breathing with nasal cavity, more helpful to us and more it's more useful, because if we breathe by our nasal cavity, it's moisture the air, and again it's kill all bacteria. What's about pharynx? Pharynx contain the tonsils. Normal function is to fight with infection. And larynx, what is larynx? It's a voice box. Then after the pharynx, larynx, we have epiglottis. When we talked about digestive system, we talk about epiglottis. It's a flexible cartilage supported flap that covers the opening of the trachea or glottis. It can be opening glottis or trachea, and automatically closes the opening to the trachea during swallowing. When we swallow, when we swallow, we couldn't say something because it can, everything can, or our food can go to the trachea and we can have cough. If you eat food too fast, it can get lodged in the trachea. Yep. It can give to us problem. For that reason, don't talk when you are eating. Next important things. If you are eating and something has happened, we have a Heimlich maneuver. What is Heimlich maneuver? used to pop food out and back into the pharynx. How it's happened? Heimlich maneuver. Here you can see two persons who work place on one fist just above the person's navel with your thumb against to the abdomen, and these things we called Heimlich maneuver. Heimlich maneuver important to on baby, because we know that the a little child can have a cough. Also for that reason Heimlich maneuver is very important, and I think our students should know how to do that. First of all, place the infant's stomach down across your forearm and give 5 thumps on the infant's back with heel on the hand. And another way, place 2 fingers in the middle of the infant's breastbone and give 5 quick downward thrusts. Here you can see how we can do it with baby in first way and in second way. In first way, we should child should be down, and in second way we can do it with the breast of the child. Be careful, please. Next organ is trachea. After the pharynx, we have a trachea. We said about the epiglottis, we said about maneuver, and now we want to talk about trachea. Trachea is done by, we said that trachea all the time have made by cartilage, and this cartilage like a ring. Trachea is lined with ciliated columnar epithelium and mucous cells. The chronic cough of smokers is caused by damage of the cilia. Cilia all the time it's clean air too, and mucus or moisture or air too. Cilia of smokers. Here you can see that in trachea we have a cilia. In first picture and in second picture. First picture it's a cilia of or trachea of the healthy person, and second picture is a cilia of unhealthy person. Here you can see the trachea in our respiratory system. Most of all, you can see here the trachea made by cartilage ring, and then everything go to the bronchi. In trachea divided for the 2 groups, which call it bronchi. This bronchi divided like a trees. We have some parts like a trees, which called bronchioli, and at the end of each bronchioli we have air sacs, which called alveoli. And you can see here our lung, which consists from 2 sides, left side and right side. And you can see that right side consists from 3 parts and left side consists from 2 parts. And the air sacs, alveoli, and under the lung we have a muscle which called diaphragm, which help to us to do this respiratory respiration, Okay, here you can see about lung structure, that we have a pleura, which is a extra layer of the, not extra, which is the outside layer of the lungs, and then between the lobes and pleura we have a pleural fluid. That is all important things about lung and lung structure, about and trachea. Next, now we want to talk about a lot about lungs. We talked about that from the picture we see that lungs consist from 2 sides and contains the lower respiratory structure. Bronchi. What is bronchi? Important things. We said that the lung firstly divided for the divided for the 2 bronchs. The bronchi are small air passages composed of hyaline cartilage that extend from the trachea to the bronchioles. There are 2 bronchs in the human body that branch off from the trachea. The bronchi are lined with mucous membrane that secretes mucus and cilia that sweep the mucus and particles up and out of the airways. Okay, we can see that the bronchi sweep the mucus and particles up and out of the airways. Here you can see bronchi, bronchioli and alveoli. What is alveoli? Alveoli have a very thin membrane that allows rapid diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between capillary blood and alveoli. All the time, we know that the alveoli have gas exchange system, or in alveoli we happened diffusion. It means we give oxygen to our blood and get carbon dioxide from our blood, get rid, lined with surfactants to prevent alveolar collapse. What is surfactant? It's the essential fluid that lines the alveoli and smallest bronchioli. What is the function of surfactant? Reduce surface tension of the lung, allowing the oxygen and carbon dioxide across the membrane. Here you can see how alveoli is work. There is a picture, and here you can see one alveoli. Air come to the outside, and then here you can see capillaries. In capillaries we have red blood cells, which is responsible for taking oxygen and spread it to our body and get rid carbon dioxide. Mostly in red blood cells you can see round things which called hemoglobin. Single layer of the cells around the alveoli. You can see layer of the alveoli, then you can see diffusion process. First of all, deoxygenated. First of all, you can see that the red blood cells take apart. We have oxygenated blood back to the heart and deoxygenated blood from the heart. There are main things which call it diffusion, main process. You can see that the alveoli have a lot of capillaries. Around the alveoli, a lot of capillaries. It's an air sac. Lack of surfactant. What's happened if humans don't have a surfactant fluid? Premature infants can have respiratory distress syndrome due to immaturity of lungs. Persons with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. This disease called that persons with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. What is this, or how we can know what is the function of nervous system? First of all, nervous system regulates the rate and depth of respiration. Next, medulla oblongata. It's a part of the brain. Is responsible for the respiratory control. And third, cough reflex is stimulated by nervous system. Human respiratory system. Here you can see the picture where you can repeat all things. First of all, trachea, which consists from the ring from cartilage. Then it's divided for the two groups which called bronchi. Bronchi divides for the little bit trees which called bronchioles, which is from cartilage too. After the bronchiole, at the end of the bronchiole, we have a lot of alveoles. Alveoles, around the alveoles, we have a lot of capillaries. You can see that the structure of lung, pleural membrane, pleural cavity, and diaphragm. This is main important organs in respiratory system. There are some pictures how everything is going, how diffusion is going. First of all, there are alveoles, and alveoles surrounded by capillaries, small blood vessels, and these capillaries give carbon dioxide and get oxygen by red blood cells or by hemoglobin, which is inside of the red blood cells. And oxygenated blood go to the heart. Deoxygenated blood, it's go from the heart. Deoxygenated blood, it's come from the heart. Deoxygenated blood go to the heart. Forming oxyhemoglobin. Here you can see that the capillaries, picture of the capillaries which surround the alveoles, and there are some what's happened, how hemoglobin can carry oxygen. We know that the hemoglobin is important things which consists from the proteins and from the iron, and the function of hemoglobin is to take oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide. In each cells we need oxygen because of the respiration, because of the we need oxygen for a lot of process and for energy to its cells energy for each cell. For that reason we need oxygen our body very strong need on oxygen. Systemic capillaries, disorders of respiratory system. Here you can see the disorders, infections, bronchiolitis or pneumonia. Sometimes we can get some infections which cause the disease, which called pneumonia, or maybe can be some disorders like allergic disorders, inflammatory disorders, obstructive airway disorders, bronchial pulmonary dysplasia, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, we said that it's a disease when we don't have a surfactant, and injury to lungs. There are some disorders. Our objective of the lesson was to know how the efficiency of breathing can be measured. It's the next lesson when we can do some works with the students. We can do some lab works, like to know how to measure efficiency of breathing can be measured. We can measure breathing of the student and understand how breathing is affected by exercise. And students can do some exercises and then again measure their breathing. And another things, we can work with the papers, which is important too. Now I can show to you some worksheets which is useful to our students. First of all, there are texts about gas exchange. Our students should read this text. Then there are some questions which are based on the text. This is a good or important or useful or helpful worksheet to the teachers. There can be multiple choice question, or if you want, you can do open questions. Another things here, you can show something like this, some activity like this, give to the students some statement, and students should paint it for two color, green or red. If this statement will be true, it should be green, and if this statement will be false, it should be red. This is another worksheet work. Here you can see which is the red and which is the green, and from the picture you can see what is true, what is not. Mostly this activity is important when you did it with the students on the board. Another important things, there are some tables and gas, nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Air breathes in and air breathes out. What's happening in that situation, and our students should give the answer to that question which connect with the table. Another, measuring efficiency of the lung. Here you can see how we can measure efficiency of the lung. It's mostly by spirometer. The changes in volume during the breathing are plotted on a graph, like it's called spirogram. The graph is called spirogram, but we can measure it by spirometer. Here you can see some graphs and what it gives to us. We can help to the students how to read it, such kind of graphs. And measuring vital capacity. We can talk about with students about vital capacity, total lung volume and inspiratory capacity, which is important too. First of all, we have a tidal volume, is the lung volume representing the normal volume of air displaced between normal inspiration and expiration when extra effort is not applied, and another kinds of the volume. Here you can see, you can show to the students some exercises, or before the lesson you can show to the students some dictionary. There is a vital capacity in Kazakh, in English, two language. There is some terminology which should know our students, and they should know about capacity, about volume, and they should know how much it should be. And there are some facts about disease, especially about asthma. What's happened in asthma? Airway with asthma. Swelling, mucus, how it's everything is going. Okay, asthma is an allergic response that causes difficulty breathing, wheezing, tight chest, and coughing. It is thought to affect 10% of the world's population and is responsible for 2,000 deaths per year in the United Kingdom. Asthma is not an infectious disease, but is caused by physical factors called allergens in the environment. These allergens include pollen, feces of the dust mites, and animal fur. Other factors that can contribute to asthma include polluting gases like sulfur dioxide, exercise, cold weather, infection, and stress. That things can cause the asthma. What happens in asthma? Allergens trigger an inflammatory response by the immune system. White blood cells called mast cells release histamines, which cause the smooth circular mucus to the bronchioles to contract, lowering the airways, bronchial contraction. The epithelial cells also secrete more mucus, which further blocks the airways. The constricted bronchioles slows ventilation, thus reducing gas exchange in the alveoli and cellular respiration throughout the body. The constricted bronchioles also cause the breathing difficulties, wheezing, and coughing as lungs try to lose the mucus. Practice questions. There are in attack different questions to the students about asthma. Here you can see paper 2 questions. There are work with graphs. Students should answer to that question about graphs. There are one situation and the questions about this paper from the paper 2 question from IB. Here you can see the graph to our students, which is useful too. All the time on my lesson I will try to show some worksheets which will be useful to the whole teacher of Nazarbayev Intellectual School. For that reason there are some command terms which our students should know. English transcription, there is some vocabulary to our students. And now for our topic was respiration system. To know a respiration system, we should show maybe some video, because some of our students can be want to see video because they are visible students. For that things, we should show the video.
The respiratory system moves air through the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchus to the alveoli, where the gas exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs. Nares are the openings to the nose. The nasal cavity is lined with cilia, mucous membranes, and blood capillaries. The air is filtered by cilia, moistened by mucous membranes, and warmed by the blood. Air moves into the pharynx or throat, the common passageway for food and air. Air continues on to the larynx. The epiglottis, a flap of tissue in front of the larynx, closes off the larynx when swallowing to prevent food from entering. The larynx or voice box contains the vocal folds. The trachea or windpipe connects the larynx to the bronchial tree. The cartilage rings of the trachea prevent the trachea from collapsing. Lungs are spongy tissue with alveoli and blood capillaries. Breathing occurs because of the expansion and contraction of the lungs. The bronchi carrying the air subdivide into smaller branches called bronchioles. At the end of each bronchiole are the alveolar sacs. The alveolar sacs are surrounded by blood capillaries and contain millions of single-layer alveoli cells where the gas exchange takes place. Oxygenated air goes from the nose to the pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, and alveoli. By the process of diffusion, oxygen in the air moves from the alveoli to the capillaries. Carbon dioxide moves from the capillaries to the alveoli and is exhaled. This process is called respiration.
Okay, thank you for your attention, and relax and goodbye.